Yo, peace, 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 and more peace. How y'all feel out there? Peace, king and knight. It is the night. How do y'all feel? I'm feeling good. Well, tonight I wanted to come on and share some information. I don't want to be the only one that's telling you we ain't no Africans. Pan Africans ain't good for you. Pan Africans is liars. Pan Africans is sending you to your death and demise. Right? So we're gonna let some other people talk tonight. It's dinner time. Sit back and enjoy your meal. I'ma chill. Hope you chill with me. Enjoy some you know, confessions.
Plans had to change. So we're going to go ahead and get into why I left Africa. A lot of you guys who are part of this community, this like diaspora travel to Africa community, know that a lot of people have been leaving Africa recently. A lot of African Americans, Afro Caribbeans, Afro Europeans, whatever, who went on a journey to Africa have recently made their departure from the continent and have gone back to the US. Some are still there and some will be there for the remainder of their lives. But a lot of people have been coming out and sharing their experiences of why they left Africa. All right. And one theme that I see repeatedly is the fact that they realize pretty quickly that as African Americans, we are actually not African. We are our own separate entity, our own separate ethnicity, our own separate culture. And that makes sense, right? A lot of you
And that makes sense, right? It's a shame we gotta go all the way to Africa to deal in common sense. To see some people that don't got common sense, you know, use common sense and then come back home. But I thank this brother for going in. We're gonna let him go in. We're gonna play one more time for the people who just came in the building. Hit the like button. He said,
that I see repeatedly is the fact that they realize pretty quickly that as African Americans, we are actually not African. We are our own separate entity, our own separate ethnicity, our own separate culture. And that makes sense, right? A lot of you are thinking, obviously. But for me and others like me, it took us actually venturing outside of our comfort zone and landing and living in Africa to really come to that conclusion. All right. And I wouldn't trade that experience for the world. Going to Africa taught me to truly appreciate what it means to be a Black American and African American, and to truly appreciate our culture, our unique heritage and experiences on this planet. So for me, like I said, I went in 2021 and I'm going to make a whole separate video about that. But suffice it to say, romance played a role in why I went to Africa. All right. I was almost like a passport bro, if you would. Not entirely, because the person that I was dating, let's call this person X, the Nigerian person I was dating, person X, we met prior to me even considering really going to Africa. I mean, I've always wanted to go to Africa, but I met person X prior to that. Anyways, this video.
we're gonna keep it going though, because I like dude, but I like the fact that he started off by saying the first thing he learned when he went to Africa and lived in Africa is that we not Africans. A lot of us forget that, lose the reality of that, and we shouldn't. Is that we go to Africa and find out we not Africa. So let's get into another.
Looking to establish your business using an address other than your home? Wish you had a professional
with getting money out of us. And it's like, when you go influence me to come here, my experience in Africa.
So she about to tell her experience personally of going to Africa, and she went with the dude we was talking about last night, the scammer, right? I didn't know he was a scammer. I just thought he was a hater, but you could tell he was a snake oil salesman. All he doing is selling tours. So let's see how them tours be hitting.
African continent, and I went on a tour with someone who's also a content creator who had influenced me to come here and to come to this family reunion, but it seemed like it was more of a money ritual because they was really aggressive with getting money out of us. And it's like, when you go to a family reunion, at least in the Black community here in America, there's no transactions going on, you know? We're loving, we welcome you with open arms, we feed y'all and stuff like that, but it felt like the main focus was the money, right? So we're going to be playing a compilation of 2 different family reunions that I had attend. And, you know, this one to me wasn't as bad as the second one, and you'll get to see what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's start this video.
Love me, Mebe, and I'll be Mebe forever.
We often hear about the African diaspora, the scattering of millions of Africans across the globe during the transatlantic slave trade. Majority of us African Americans do not know who we are, as our African ancestors' names and cultures were forcefully taken from them, leaving us disconnected from our indigenous African heritages for hundreds of years. We've traveled thousands of miles from the United States to Sierra Leone, and then 4 hours from Freetown to Bo to meet the Mende tribe for the very first time, potentially our long lost relatives. A long and overdue connection that should have never been disconnected in the first place.
In the first place.
Yeah, the whole village is matching.
Where can the women go to?
I just want to say this. I feel like with every Black community, within every Black family and neighborhood, there's always that one drunk uncle, and this guy, he's one of them. Oh, snap.
It's the community I chose to live. I used to live in California, Los Angeles.
So this lady, she is a Sierra Leonean. She's like one of the leaders here in this village of this tribe, right? And she's just basically boasting that, you know, even though she lives here in Sierra Leone, she has like American citizenship. She has like a professional career in America. And even though that she has the credentials of like American, people still try to figure out where she's from, because obviously she's not one of us.
She said yes.
Someone I didn't know. Yeah, but I came back home, and this is where.
Again, she's not one of us. These is people in Africa reminding us she's not one of us. She got all these credentials. She got all these different things. She worked in California, and in California, she knew she wasn't one of us. She came back home. You know? Everybody out here it's like you gotta go to Africa to get the truth. One way or another, you gonna get it.
I live. That's the university down there. I went to that university. And I'm here. I'm a teacher, but I am a registered nurse in California. California State. Yeah, I live there. My kids are there. My children are there. But I'm here. What I like most about this is that you guys are coming to look or trace where you came from. It's no mistake. Most of you here are Mende, and believe me, Mendes are very strong people. Mendes are very strong people. They are not easily broken.
She just said, yeah, most of you here are Mende. You know what I mean? They claim niggas so quick. Most of you here, I know you are. Y'all just like, come on, bro.
And my advice is when you come here and see us, it might seem that we don't have billionaires here. We don't have all those people here. But when you come here and see what's going on, it just makes your resolve stronger. You are stronger when you go back and say, you know what, I went over there and I saw some of our brothers and sisters. They don't have all these riches that we have here in America. But believe me, their resolves are stronger. Here, when you come here and become one of us, there's nothing to go over there and start saying, oh, you know, some of them, they look at us. I don't care. I was in America for 28 years, 26, 27, 28 years. But wherever you go, you will be there. I'm telling you, you will be the director of nurses in that place. And somebody who is a CNA, you know, the nursing assistant, they will still look at you and say, where are you from? They always, before everybody used to say, oh, are you from Nigeria? I said, no, I'm not from Nigeria. They go, oh, now she wants to be American. I said, no, I'm not from Nigeria. Africa is big. And I bet my son here has been there, most of them.
And of course, we're going to ask you, like, you know, where you're from, because we know that you're not one of us, just like how when we go to Africa and we're called all types of different names because we're not one of y'all. So, of course, humans are humans at the end of the day, and we're going to ask you, who are you? Where are you from? Because we know that you're not one of us. Simple as that.
Tell him, Lexus. Tell her, that's my guy, bro. She's spitting that shit. Let's keep going now. Let's keep going.
Okay, hi everyone. Once again, I'm Coco. They call me Coco.
Because again, I'm sorry. It's unfortunate that some people gotta go through these heartaches. Some people gotta go through these scams. Some people gotta get used and abused, get taken and ransacked through their money, through their change. Leave everything behind. Like, you know how long it take people to save up money to go to Africa? These is years wasted. Happiness wasted on a dream. Dreams deferred. And they get here and die.
From Coco Strands TV. I'll put that in the chat. And anyway, so in 2002, around November, I'm going to explain my dealings with Alita Israel. Okay, and with Ghana Consultations originally. Now it's called Ghana Consultations Land. I don't know if it's different, but that's the company and the person that I am going to be speaking of and just warning people about. This is not to ridicule her or to, on her live, she says people are hating on her. She calls us ugly and all these things. Like, I'm not going to sit there and be a 5-year-old and talk about people's appearance or try to get her hurt as a person or ruin her business. I'm just trying to explain what happened to me and some of the things that I feel like she humbled and she needs to fix within her personality and her spirit. Hello? Okay. And something she also needs to fix within her business and her organization is off. So I first saw her on YouTube in 2022, November. I saw a video of her and I loved everything she was talking about. And I actually felt like, you know, the Most High was talking to me that I needed to go to Ghana to do this. I was already thinking about it, buying land there. And I just kept watching her for another about 2 or 3 months. And fell in love with the whole idea, loved her, literally loved her, and decided to contact her for a consultation. I had to pay $50 for that, which I gave up. And yeah, we had a wonderful consultation. And after that, I sent her $3,000 for 2 plots of land. Okay. And then in that consultation, she told us it takes about 6 to 8 weeks to receive our indentures, and then we could come see the land and whatnot. So I am also a YouTuber and I wanted to document that, me going to Ghana to see my land. So I would say about 5 to 6 weeks in, I hadn't received, after I sent her the money, first of all, no communication after that. Okay. It was like, never call. Look, he laughing, so he know. She doesn't call to say, hi, how you doing, Coco? Or, okay, this is an update and this is going on and that's going on. Like, you know, a company would, you know, be organized and professional and do. None of that happened. So I'm sitting there like, dang, okay. But, you know, you don't want to, you know, you done gave a stranger, which you're right. Go back to Africa. You should not do this, people. You should go to Ghana first. Go anywhere first. Don't do what we did, okay? But you trusted someone and you don't want to tick them off because, first of all, you're not there. You just gave them your hard-earned money. So you're just trying to be nice. And, you know, she's dealing with a lot of people. So I tried not to bug her too much because you find when you do, she gets very nasty. And I'm not going to show y'all receipts right now, but all that's in the phone now. I can provide that though. But she gets very snappy. She doesn't really like to be bothered. She doesn't like to be questioned. And she doesn't like you to ask questions. She always says, oh, we already went over that, or you got to wait, or be patient. Y'all Negroes ain't patient and all this stuff, right? She calls us all these names. Okay. So I asked after about 8 weeks. I said, well, I haven't received my dentures. I was wondering if, you know, if anything, you forgot about anything. Why would I forget? I'm organized over here. I know what I'm doing. This and that. I said, okay, Lisa, like, calm down. You know, I just was wondering about what's going on. So she was like, well, you just have to wait. I said, well, I did want to see my land, like on the video, and then actually come to Ghana and see it. And
I want to see my land. I done paid for it. I mean, this is crazy. That's what I'm saying. I feel bad for this young lady.
She was like, well, it's nothing to see. Nothing has been cleared. You haven't sent any money to be cleared. I said, okay, well, I don't want to send any more money until I get my indentures. Because at the time I was dating a Ghanaian and he was kind of telling me, like, you want your indentures so you can check everything first before you start building on it. Like, he was giving me the little rundown of how Ghana works. So I didn't want to send any more money, obviously, right, until I get my indentures. So that part, it was taking a long time to receive my indentures. So I just told her one day, I was like, well, I'm coming. Yeah. So that next February, after, I bought the land in February, and then I came to Ghana. Right. So she didn't want to be there. She was in Accra. So she didn't even meet me. So she had Joe show me the land. And I was actually okay with that because I had realized she had like an attitude problem. I really didn't want to see her just as much as she didn't want to see me. So I went with Joe. And I recently taken it down, but it was on my channel, but I still have the video.
Money.com has definitely changed and improved the way we work.
It's crazy. It gets worse.
Went to Ghana. I videoed my land, had a great time, met Joe, saw everything, saw my little, with my name on it and everything. Still no indentures. She told me, oh, that's a shame you came because your dentures still aren't ready. This is about been 8 weeks now. Okay. So I'm just like, wow, okay, well, that's fine. At least I see my name. I've documented it. Everything's cool. All right. So fast forward, go back home.
It done took Shorty to a park. I got her walking around a community park. She don't even know no better. They put her name on a post like she a donor. She on a donor wall like FBA. They walked her around the park, say, "Yeah, this where you gonna build your home at." She ain't even know.
Home, spent a whole 2 weeks, met my now husband, then fiance. I met everybody. We had fun. Went back home to America, waiting once again for my indentures. This time I'm trying to call and ask about them. And she just like flats out like, okay, well, you haven't even sent me the first phase yet. I said, well, why would I send the first phase? I still haven't received my documents. She was like, oh, don't worry about it. You could do it, sis. You just have to send me $4,500 16 times. And I said, what? So I started getting the calculator. I said, 4,516 times. That's about $60,000. Mind y'all, she has never asked me what type of house I want, how many bedrooms, if I wanted a tiny home or a 4-bedroom home or a 5-bedroom. This lady ain't never called me and said, did you have a good morning? So let's start talking about your blueprint. How many bedrooms do you want? Do you want a fence? Never ask me what my house is looking like. I show y'all the whole feed on my channel. I'm gonna go over this bill again. If y'all want to come to my channel and see, I'll show y'all the whole thing, baby. Never. I said she don't even know what I want. I don't want to spend this much on no house. That rubbed me the wrong way. So I said, I called my husband, or then my fiance. He said, no. He's Ghanaian. He said, no. You don't need to pay off. She's price gouging you. I understand. That's another thing. I understand someone need to make money. I understand you need to make a business. You have a business. My problem was you're just not organized for me. Like, I don't even feel comfortable with your attitude, moving with you forward. You have a stank attitude. You're weird. Like, you're not, you're being rude all the time. You snapping at people when they have a question. You're very discombobulated all the time. I'm not dealing with that. That's first of all. Make your money though. I'm not mad. But you don't even know what type of house I want, lady. And you're telling me I need to send you $4,500 16 times. I'm not spending all of that when I got a Ghanaian fiance. So I told her that. I said, I'd rather go with my husband. You know what she said? So this is where the problem come in, y'all. She said, oh, well, no, ain't nobody else gonna be over here building. She gonna rip my land from me. She snatched my land back when it's supposed to be my land that I got a receipt for from the Chiefs. And she returned within 5 minutes. I heard my Cash App ring. I said, excuse me? So since I'm not building with you, you gonna rip my land from me? I started to cry off of anger because I couldn't snatch her from across the phone. So basically, I found out from the Chiefs and the Kings that she had no right to do that. The king that's over all those communities right now said she had no right to do that. That's illegal in Ghana. She's supposed to call me. I decide if you get that land or not, if you don't want to build over there. Mind you, there was about 10 videos that Alita has stating, you don't have to build with me. You guys can go with whoever you want. And now all of a sudden you're gatekeeping and I got to build with you. So that is my issue. Not that she kept my money, because there's me down here, she kept her money. But see, not me. She ripped my land from me, which I already paid to go down there to document. So I want my recoup from my trip that she literally, I just went down there for nothing and spend money on all this and then put it all over the internet. And that's supposed to be that's my land still to this day that she ripped from me. So I'm on here to warn people. If you want to build by yourself with your own husband, your own companies, your own community, this and that, you want to build your own, she's not going to let you do it. You're going to have to build with her and deal with that nasty attitude. And that's all I have to say.
Well, thank you there, Larish. The Elitists from America
I can't be the only one on the internet that is asking this question. Is it fair for the Ghanaian government to invite African Americans from the US and then a few years later they start demolishing their communities? Is it actually fair?
Honestly, what can I say? This is so tragic. I feel like crying because it's like, I know what it's like to invest your time, your money, your blood, your sweat.
We're going to find out in this video what is actually going on in Ghana. Now, it's something very sensitive. I've seen it all over in the internet, and people are actually giving views about this. But I kind of like did some research, and I'll come out with things that are really shocking. Okay, let's start the video. Now, African Americans and Black Americans are part of a very large family called the African diaspora. Now, the African diaspora is made up of 350 million people. If we want to take this to be a country, it's going to be the third most populated country in the world after China and India. Now, recently, there are fears that the gap between the African diaspora and Africa is actually widening. Now, African Americans have actually been relocating to Africa for the past years, but then everything exploded after the 2020 George Floyd incident, which itself was a stark reminder, especially to African Americans, of the sad realities in America. Now, all these racial tensions in the US around that moment sent shockwaves across Africa, but then Africans could actually do only little about the situation. What they could do is just commenting on social media and all that. But then one man, the president of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo, he took everything on his shoulders and said, no, he hit the table, no, and said that African Americans have a choice. Whenever they feel like relocating back home, by home, he meant Africa, they should come to Ghana, that Ghana is welcoming any African American that wants to relocate. Now, by doing this, he actually instigated all other 54 African countries to do the same. That is actually his motive. He wanted any African American to $100 million every year. Now, this is somebody that is just aware of the fact that he can do business in Africa.
C'est un homme d'affaires britannique, Anthony Pyle, qui a inventé ce procédé redoutable. Ces produits inondent aujourd'hui le marché européen.
France, on livre la France, la Hollande, la Belgique, l'Italie, la Suisse, le Danemark. Et un petit pays marrant au-dessus de la France. Non, à l'Angleterre, voilà.
Derrière son humour so british.
Tu es heureux? C'est sûr, hein?
Okay, good. We're talking about protectionism that is all over the planet. So when you are given such opportunity by a president, for example, the Ghanaian president, you need to seize that opportunity. Just knowing that you can be an amplifying node of anything business from Ghana in the US, you're just going to make lots of money. Let's look at this example of a British man who sells mangoes. He buys mangoes from Ghana and sells it in Europe. It's because he is using that knowledge. He is a British man. When he comes to Africa, he has this connection. But an African, for example, wouldn't have outright do the kind of business that he is doing back there in Europe. He has all the advantages back there in Europe. Same as you, African American in America, you can come to Africa, you do your business. You'll be given the opportunity to relocate to Ghana. Now you master US. You can already serve as an amplifying node for your business connection in the US and in Ghana. How am I going to put this again? So this is the kind of opportunity we're talking about. Now, Africa Today is a business channel. I want to see a business opportunity. I can't help but just reveal it. I've done
also do consultations and
I'm not mentioning the name yet again because Ghana, unfortunately, you could be so powerful that you're untouchable. There's been a lot of instances where you have black and white evidence. Are you guys aware of the ghost scam that I was involved in? We have videos and they said they did not have enough evidence, right? There are people who are extremely powerful in the country and they are untouchable. So it's quite sad that this happened to this old couple and many other people, according to her, who have been under this spell. Now, some YouTubers will just get paid to go and advertise something and they don't do any work at all. that's not the case with me. If you've noticed, I actually haven't been promoting a lot of other people's stuff on my channel. I do my own stuff. And if I do promote something, I have spent money to do some sort of due diligence. A lot of you YouTubers don't even know what they're talking about. They don't know much about land and all this stuff. They just get paid and advertise it. And they are not coming from a bad place. They are just trying to eat and get paid. In a country that is not Ghana, this shouldn't be so bad. But this country is very, 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 very scary. And to me, what I'm trying to do in this country comes with reputation, and I cannot put my reputation on the line. So if I'm getting myself into something, I need to know what I'm getting myself into. Now, my advice to you, if you want to avoid some of these scams, is if you hear a big company where you do not really know the owner of the company, the owner is not putting their face out there, first of all, you should be worried, right? Nothing is black and white in Ghana. Contract, you can have the contract, you can win in court, and some people are just untouchable. You are even lucky if you got a judgment. Some people that, it will get to court and will never move forward. You need to stick to people who have face, because if, let's say, owner of a company is Rush, like Acadian, I'm not going to take somebody's money and run away with it. Why? I'm on YouTube. When you say Rush, you don't even have to say sorry. Everybody know who I am. And I'm not going to do that. And they have a deal that's so good to be true. Like, you think you got a great deal in Ghana? Let me break something to you. Ghana is full of greed. People love money, especially in the real estate space, because of the crap you go through to put up a building. Digging fees, issues, people trying to come and claim, you have to fight them. So when somebody go through all of this and the building is done, the price they put on it sometimes is ridiculous. And they feel like it's actually warranted for, because trust me, if you want the ground, pushing through this, it's not easy. So once they get a building done and you are coming to buy it, my friend, do not expect to get some sweet discount on that deal. If you see a building with a crazy discount amount on it, something is very fishy, especially if it's in the prime areas of Accra. They're not going to have any issue selling that building at all. So why are they making it so freaking attractive? That's a question you should ask yourself. If you're trying to buy, you're trying to buy land, you're trying to buy a house, just pay that $100 consultation. I've actually saved somebody from losing money before. The person was smart enough to book for consultation. I looked through it, and within 30 minutes, I'm like, this is a scam. From I think $20,000, all because he paid $100 for consultation.
Okay, so I wanted to just run that there through you all there, because he's,
So we've been in full consideration of all of that over the last 12 months. However, due to the fact that legally there's a statute of limitations, we had to go ahead and file it in court, because up to this point, it still hasn't quite been fully resolved, even though the intent is still there, apparently, from the government. They're saying that they still want to resolve the matter. So even though it's filed, our lawyer's been saying that the judge will allow there's still the opportunity for resolution to be agreed to by the parties. But we have had to go ahead and take the action to move it into the legal court phase. Our first major hearing is tomorrow. So that's really the update. And since we haven't been able to speak on it and really talk much about the matter because of the fact that we had agreed to that in the committee, and as well as now because we are going into the court to hear the case, we're still a bit limited on some of the things we can talk about. But at least I can tell you that much. It had been agreed that, you know, looking at the facts, that the best decision would be for the government to go ahead and sort us out.
So, you know, it tears me up because, you know, this is more than 2 handfuls of stories, more than 50 stories of issues that I know that Ghana has with those people that I've come across. Emails that I received. Well, I'm going to say this right here because I know Ghanaians watch this, and I know there are government officials who watch this. And I've been coming to Ghana for the last 7 years. I have met beautiful people in Ghana, whether it's Ghanaians, whether it's African Americans, whether it's other people who are coming into Ghana to pursue either their happiness, trying to reach their potentials. Many people have come out of America, UKs and Canadas, coming back with hopes of a better life. I have did many interviews of people here in Ghana who have had hopes coming here only to be scammed, only to be taken advantage of, only to be land to be taken. I know people who have been killed here in Ghana because of land disputes. And yet Ghana has made this whole door of return to be some sense of a historical event that, in my opinion, it was only a ploy, a plot, a scheme to get the dollars out of their hand to bring in to Ghana. The last number I was told, there's over 15,000 of us here in Ghana. And I know without the 15,000 of us that are here and those that come back and forth and the money that is sent outside of the country of Ghana, Ghana could not stand. I'm going to put it out there. We have come here to build businesses. And I know my brothers and sisters there in the Hebrew Israelite community. They are pillars here in Ghana. They have factories. They have businesses. They got farming. They have done so much. And it hurts me to the core when I see that when we come with good intentions, a good heart, and trying to come and establish a new way of life, and we hire the locals, we supply the jobs, we are creating an industry for Ghana, and yet we're overlooked, used and abused, and yet we still don't even have a voice. You know, we are the aimless wanderers, the ones seeking land outside of damn America.
There are Americans coming over here being nasty, doing nasty things, and being bad to the locals. Now, let me flip the fucking script. If this is home, why do we have to pay to be a resident? If this is home, why isn't our citizenship automatically given to us?
Hi guys, welcome to another video. It's Ndagiri here. Thanks for coming. As always, for the subscribers, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Today's video is something that I got from a fellow creator, and she's also a guest most of the times on this channel, Essie Natukonda, and please go check out her full clip of this video, we have a Black American woman who is literally tired of what is going on in Ghana, and she had to just speak about it. But yeah, guys, watch this clip, come back, and let's talk about it.
There are Americans coming over here being nasty, doing nasty things, and being bad to the locals. Now, let me flip the fucking script, okay? Let's talk about the fact that we get abused over here too. The thing about Ghana is stop crying victim. Stop crying victim, because y'all cheat us out of a lot of stuff. Y'all invited us to come home, which by the thousands we did. We came running to Ghana. People sold their homes, moved out of their apartments, sold everything. Some people packed up containers and moved over here just to get over here and realize this is not our home. Y'all call us foreigners. Ghanaians call us that. We didn't make that word up. We didn't start calling ourselves that. We don't know that that's what y'all call the white people and the Chinese because we're not around them. But we know that that's what y'all call us. I ain't never heard the word before, Tabi, till I came to Ghana. Okay. Y'all invite us home. Let's talk about what y'all do. Do to us. Starting from the fucking before we get to the airport, we got to have a visa that we pay for to even enter our home. We pay all this money for passports and visas to get here. We get to the airport, and as soon as you see a fucking blue passport, everybody's coming for us. Can you give me something small at the COVID place? You get to immigration. Can you give me something small? You get to baggage. Can you give me something small? A person grabbed a damn cart and put my bag on it and got mad because I gave him $5 because I only had hundreds, because you come over here with hundreds to get the best, cash in rate. How about he looked at that and said, I don't want that. I said, what you mean you don't want it? I said, I want to know, what did you expect me to give you? He said, $10. I said, so you want me to give you over 100 CDs for picking up a bag, putting it in a cart? He don't know this is like my 5th time coming through the airport. I have never seen nowhere in any country or state where people have openly, it says $60 for foreigners, $30 for locals, okay? You go to Cocoon Park, and I don't remember the price. Let's say $200 for foreigners, because that's what y'all call us, $40 for locals. You go to the cafe. It's 60 for foreigners, 10 for locals. Yeah, I ain't never seen that nowhere. I ain't never went nowhere in the US, Mexico, and Canada where it said you pay, if you a local, if you're from here, you pay $3 for a Coca-Cola, but if you're a foreigner, you pay $8 for a Coca-Cola. I ain't never seen that nowhere except Ghana. Nobody in the airport has ever asked me for no money for nothing. I have only seen that in Ghana. Now, let's talk about the fact that y'all welcomed us home and how this process looks to me. According to y'all, the ones of us that were stolen, so let's talk about the process of coming home. We got stolen from our mother, our birth mother and father. 20 years later, we're probably 26 years old now. Our mother finds us and she said, baby, y'all come home. I miss you. Come back home. Get out them streets where they don't love you at. and come home. So we drive, take a taxi, however we get to our mother's address, we get there. But before she let us come to the door, she says, "Oh, welcome home. But before you come in, can you pay me $300 to enter the door? That's the visa to come home." So, okay, we happy to be home. So we paid $300 to our mother to step foot in her house because we're excited to be home to the motherland, okay? We get in there, and now it's dinner time. And she has plates on the table for the kids that grew up in the house, and she has a plate on the table for me and my sister who was stolen years ago. And she says, "Oh, my daughters, because you didn't grow up here, my children get to eat free that grew up here, but because you were stolen and you're just coming back, I have to charge you $20 for a plate." So me and my sister, we're so happy to be home. We're confused. We pay her $20 for a plate. Okay. That's the cocoon shit. That's y'all giving us different prices for shit. Okay. Now we're at our mother's house and we're enjoying being there. We see something's a little weird, but we enjoy being back home with our mother. We decide we want to stay. And she goes, "Oh, you want to stay a little longer? You're going to have to pay me $1,000 every year to stay here." That's the residency. Now we're paying her for residency, even though she invited us home after we were stolen from her. Okay. Now we pay the residency, and then we decide, you know what, we want to get on the birth certificate. We kind of like it here. It's a little weird, but we comfortable enough to stay here. And she tells us, oh, in order for you to stay here, I have to put my name on your birth certificate. That's going to be $3,000 each, please. And then I will put your name on the birth certificate, and you will become a family member. That's the citizenship. That's the citizenship. So how are we home if we got to pay y'all? Why aren't the visas free? If this is home, why don't you make this visa free for us? That's the citizenship. So how are we home if we got to pay y'all? Why aren't the visas free? If this is home, why don't you make this visa free for us? If this is home, why do we have to pay to be a resident? If this is home, why isn't our citizenship automatically given to us?
As you see in the video, that is what went down. I really can't say much about this thing because I talk about it a lot. But one thing I can really emphasize in this situation is I always talk about how you should not trust every other person that you come across to when you come or land into the continent. Please do not just love everybody. Don't just embrace everybody. People are so weird. People have different motives. And when it comes to the airport situation that the lady was talking about, I experienced the same thing as a Ugandan when I was traveling. It was the most craziest, most ridiculous, most horrible situation that I've ever been in as a person. And I'll never forget it because literally the way I was treated at the airport by my fellow Ugandan people, my fellow people, was crazy. I've shared on videos where even other African people, when they come into different African countries or when they come into my country, they experience the worst kind of treatment, which I don't think goes to other groups of people that are not African people. And it's just
Let me show a video of who we are talking about, because I mean I think that everybody should at least be aware. Now, I'm not trying to.
I chose St. George's University School of Medicine because at the time,
there are people who's done business with her, you know, and I do know that not everybody jails or connects it like how certain people do business. As y'all see how I am, I'm a very meticulous man. I'm on point. If I say 10 minutes, it's gonna be 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And some people don't like that. Some people don't like, you know, how I am and do business, but that's just how I am. And we all are different. But I wanted to share her video because there was some things that kind of like, I don't know, kind of stood up, but I think that, you know, she shares some stuff that I agree with her on. in how she does business, that people are hating on her. And it's kind of like, you know, it's giving her an opportunity to kind of share maybe a little bit of her pain or maybe what she's going through. So to try to be at least give her a little voice, I decided to go ahead and pull up one of these videos that she put out there. I think this is the right place I'm starting.
And talk about my situation with Joe, because I'm not a person that ruins people's reputation. I'm not a person that has to put somebody else down to lift.
Realtors, this will change your lead generation forever with the click of one
All right,
button in
commercial.
ChatGPT.
Commercial.
This will
And everything, but y'all still want to send him y'all money and blame it on me. Like, that's crazy. Are you dumb or are you dumb? Like, the name they even sending the money in don't even be my name. It'd be like Kofi Ajo. It's like, who is that? Like, so anyways, I never want to get up here and talk about my situation with Joe, because I'm not a person that ruins people's reputation. I'm not a person that has to put somebody else down to lift myself up. I'm just not that girl. But when you start lying and you start forming hate groups.
If you're a homeowner and you have a house that you need to turn into cash, then listen up. However, if you're a homeowner,
You got to know I was going to talk now. Even when people would ask me where he went, I would be like, oh, his health, because he having some bad health issues. I would say, oh, his health, you know, but no, he has gotten with my old secretary, and they have literally tried to steal all of my ideas, started their own business, stealing my verbiage, my flyers, lying, saying he wasn't being paid when he still owed me money right now that I had to pay out of my pocket. Kareem Estate. Yeah, Joe took 35,000 CDs and didn't, you know, give me any blocks, but he kept the money. Future. Yeah, your window. Joe kept the money, but I didn't get any windows. So who had to go in their pocket to make all this stuff work? It was I, the cuddler. So I'm not going to change who I am. I'm not going to change my personality for y'all. You can keep calling me ghetto all you want. That's just another way of you attacking a Black woman. I'm ghetto. Why? Because I say yes. Because I say period. That's why I'm ghetto, because I embrace our culture. Like, these people are calling me ghetto, liars, scammers. They embracing Joe. He is literally somebody that they met through me, but all of a sudden he has more favor than I do with these people, child. Like, I cannot believe this is happening. He didn't got with my former secretary who got fired. And now they are building their own business based off everything I taught them, because they know nothing about structure and no business, honey. Like,
Oh yeah. So I just wanted to share some of that. That was crazy. Wanted to make sure I had that on record for a day. You know what I mean? For a day. Just in case. But yeah, I do feel bad that we have allowed Pan-Africanism to stand for so long. This is a result of it going unfettered. People thinking they going to the motherland. People thinking they going to return back home. That's some bullshit. That's why I started off with the first guy, because if you don't see nothing, see him. You know, see the fact that he went all the way to Africa to find out that we are not the same. We are totally different. We ain't got nothing in common. You know, harsh realities. Harsh realities, baby. Nobody told you today, I love you. I love being in love with you. Ah, man. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Peace.